You're standing at a crossroads. In front of you, two paths. Take one step to the left and your life moves in one direction. Take the other, and everything shifts. Your entire future depends on that choice. But in the quantum world, things don't work like that. Quantum physics tells us you went both ways. You didn't choose one path. You split. You created two realities. In one, you left. In the other, you stayed. And you exist in both. You're just not aware of it. We're used to thinking of life as a straight line, a dotted trail from past to future. But reality isn't a line. It's a tree. A tree with millions of branches that split with every choice, every thought, every yes or no. Even a 1-second delay creates a new timeline. You are not one single you. You're a network, a living system of possibilities. Now imagine this. You woke up this morning and decided not to check your phone. You left the house 5 minutes earlier, and you met someone who changed your life. But in another branch, you reached for your phone, scrolled for 10 minutes, and met no one. You were just late. In one version, the new future begins. In the other, it doesn't. You heard someone being rude. In one world, you ignored it and walked away. In another, you reacted, escalated, started a fight, lost your job, or your relationship. Your reaction is also a choice, and every choice is a door. Behind every door, a new scene. You're not just living one life. You're living all of them. You're just tuned to one frequency. In 1935, Austrian physicist Erwin Schrödinger created a thought experiment that broke our idea of reality. He asked us to imagine a box with a cat, a bottle of poison, and a radioactive atom. If the atom decays, the poison is released, and the cat dies. If not, the cat lives. But here's the paradox. Until someone opens the box, the cat is both dead and alive. This isn't poetry. This isn't a metaphor. This is a real paradox in quantum mechanics. The idea is this. Until an observation is made, a system exists in superposition, multiple states, simultaneously. Reality isn't fixed. It remains undefined until someone looks. Now imagine, you are the cat. You are in that superposition, where anything is still possible. You could be living a life where you moved to a different country, where you quit the job you hated, where you started your dream, where you said yes. But you won't know which version of you is real until you open that box, until you make the conscious choice, until you look at yourself, truly look. The world isn't set in stone. It becomes real only when you observe it. You don't pick one path from many. You activate one of many existing flows. So the question is, if you can exist in multiple states at once, why are you clinging so hard to the one that feels stuck? You're not just the code in the box. You're the one who can open it. Now let me explain superposition in simple terms. It's not just some abstract physics theory. It's a tool for understanding your own life. Superposition means something can be more than one thing at once. Imagine standing in front of your closet, unable to decide between the black jacket or the blue one. And for one brief moment, you're wearing both. Until you step outside, both versions of you exist. Or imagine this. You're standing on a train platform. One train goes back to your old life. The other, to something completely new. As long as you haven't moved, you're standing on both platforms at once. Only your action collapses the possibility. That's superposition. The moment before the decision. The moment before the step. The space where everything is still open. This is how our world works. Until you decide, you are both brave and hesitant, both happy and lost, both free and trapped. It is only your choice on your glance, your word, your step, that decides who you become. Superposition is that breath before action. And when you realize you're not locked into one version of yourself, you start to play this game consciously. In that same year, 1935, Einstein, along with Boris Podolsky and Nathan Rosen, published a paper that changed the way we understand connection. They called it spooky action at a distance. Today we know it as quantum entanglement. What does that mean? Imagine two particles, once connected, then separated. They're now at opposite ends of the universe. But if something happens to one, the other reacts instantly. No signals, no waves, no delays. It just happens. Change one, the other changes. Sounds like science fiction, but it's not. It's science. It's proven. And it's already being used in quantum computing and quantum communication, where data isn't sent, it's teleported. Now forget about electrons. Think about people. What if you and someone you love deeply are still entangled? What if you and your other self, the one who made a different choice, are still connected? And if you change, they change. If you raise your frequency, theirs rises. If you fall into pain, that version becomes dominant. The world isn't a stage, it's a network. You're not a separate player, you're a node in the system. And every inner state of yours affects not just your life, but everything connected to you. You matter. You're more powerful than you think. Every decision is a divergence. Every thought, fear, hesitation is a switch. In quantum theory, there's an idea called the many worlds interpretation. It sounds insane, but scientists take it seriously. It says all possible outcomes really happen, just in parallel timelines. If you quit your job, somewhere, you stayed. If you moved abroad, somewhere, you didn't. If you broke up, somewhere, you're still together. These aren't just theories. They're real. You exist in all of them. You just don't remember. So why do you sometimes wonder, what if I had done things differently? Why do certain people pop into your mind as if they're still right beside you? Why do you dream lives that don't feel like dreams, but memories? Because you're still connected. You feel the echoes. These are not fantasies. They're resonance. You are like an antenna. Every emotion tunes you to a frequency. When you miss the past, you connect to the branch where you made a different choice. When you're angry, you tune into the version of you that's stuck. When you're grateful, you regain your power, and that's when you start to shift. Parallel worlds are not fiction. They're just frames from the same film. And you hold the remote. If you understand that reality is a network, if you accept that there are multiple versions of you, then the next step is this. Time, as you know it, doesn't exist. In quantum entanglement, two particles can be connected over vast distances and yet react as one. So maybe the past and future aren't behind and ahead. Maybe they're beside you. Maybe they're all happening now. You're still instantly affecting each other. This has been recorded in experiments. It's not a hypothesis. Now think about it. If one particle here and another far away react at the exact same time, it means there is no time between them. And if there's no time between them, then time is not fundamental. At the quantum level, there's no past or future. There is only one unified moment where everything already exists. You're not moving through time. You're tuning into different states. The future isn't something that will happen. It's what you're aligning yourself with. When you shift your internal state, you shift the version of the past that aligns with the new version of you. Yes, this sounds like a paradox. But in experiments on reverse quantum causality, they observed something incredible. A decision made later affected particle behavior in the past. Scientists call this the delayed choice quantum eraser. It means that what you do now can affect both your future and what your past looks like. And the opposite is true. You might remember something that never happened because you've switched into a reality where it did. We think time is a straight line, but it's more like a web, where everything is connected and everything already exists. And you're at the center of this web. Consciousness isn't a traveler through time. It's the projector that chooses which part of the network to light up now. In 2001, Israeli Dr. Leonard Leibovici published a strange study in the British Medical Journal. He took the medical records of 390 patients hospitalized between 1990 and 1996 with a blood infection. In the year 2000, he randomly split them into two groups. Then, for one group, a prayer for healing was said. Yes, years later, after everything already happened. The result? The prayed-for group showed shorter fevers, less time in the hospital. But wait, these people were already treated. Some discharged, some already gone. And yet the statistics changed. After the prayer, as if history rewrote itself. He never found the people. He compared archived data. This breaks the classic chain of cause and effect. So what could it mean? Some interpret it as quantum perspective. Consciousness affects probabilities even in the past. Like Schrödinger's cat, until observed, all options exist. Coincidence? Maybe just randomness. Non-local influence of intention. Your focus, your intention may interact with the informational field, outside of time. This doesn't prove we can rewrite the past, but it challenges the belief that it's fixed and unchangeable. Maybe time isn't what we think it is. You already know, you live in all realities at once. In one version, you woke up earlier. In another, you met someone who changed your life. Somewhere else, you believed in yourself. And everything shifted. They're not fantasies. They're just as real as this. So how do you shift into the version you want? The answer is awareness. When you become truly aware, you pull your hand out of the flow and say, I choose. That's the portal, not a plane ticket, not winning the lottery, an internal shift. Imagine every version is a radio station. You don't have to create a new one. You tune yourself to it. How? You change your inner state. You close loops. You forgive. You act like someone who's already there. This isn't mysticism. It's the energy of decision. When you break free from the victim mindset, when you stop playing small, you kind of die to the old self. And that's when the world starts to change. Not all at once. Sometimes it's subtle, but it happens. That's the transition effect. You don't create a new reality. You remember the one where you've always been free. I'm not giving you truth. I'm sharing what I feel deep inside. The world is more complex and yet simpler than it seems. It doesn't respond to force. It responds to clarity. You can't conquer this reality, but you can move with it. And one day, without even noticing, you'll wake up exactly where you were always meant to be. Thank you for watching. Thank you for thinking. Let your next decision come not from fear, but from clarity, and let it reveal the version of you that is truly alive. See you soon.